Hello and welcome to Henry Recommends, the show where I, Disregarding Henry, recommend to you movies that I like and that you might like too. In this episode, I'd like to recommend Ben Wheatley's thrilling and very funny action comedy, Free Fire. Taking place almost entirely within the confines of a single warehouse, Free Fire tracks the real-time progression of an arms deal that goes sour, erupting into a full-blown shootout thanks to a few unfortunate mistakes, poor judgment, and some downright stupidity. The whole movie is basically a single, feature-length action sequence as characters exchange gunfire and trash talk in equal measure, each fighting as desperately as they can to stay alive. Director Wheatley has been creating some impressive low-budget genre hybrids for the last few years, such as Kill List and Sightseers, and has recently begun to move into higher-budgeted, almost experimental affair, like his 2015 adaptation of J.G. Ballard's High Rise. Free Fire is probably the most straightforward film he's made so far. It's unambiguously an action movie, but that's definitely not a bad thing. In its conceptual design and execution, it definitely bears all the marks of his playful personality. Wheatley has made the film in a refreshingly retro way. Instead of relying on digital effects and post-production work, he chose to have actors firing real blanks and dodging real squibs on set in nearly every shot. Unless an explosive is going off near an actor's face, every muzzle flash and bullet hit was created physically. It's the kind of action filmmaking we don't often see anymore, one that harkens back to the genre films of the 70s and 80s, when we used to get a sense of visceral impact, of real, physical danger that is lacking in most high-tech modern action movies. The effects work is also bolstered by a phenomenal sound design. No pre-existing or stock sound effects were ever used. Every gunshot, ricochet, impact, so forth was created from scratch, and it really makes a difference. The level of craftsmanship here is outstanding. Even the musical score has an interesting concept behind it. There are no standard action beats. Rather, we get Spanish guitars, Baroque organs, and frantic saxophones. Wheatley, I believe, described it as intending to sound like a 70s prog rock album that somebody just happened to play alongside the film, to discover that it synced up perfectly. The film has assembled a great ensemble cast, which includes Sharlto Copley, Armie Hammer, Brie Larson, Cillian Murphy, Jack Rayner, and Sam Riley, and it makes full use of their talent and charisma. The script, written by Wheatley and his wife and collaborator Amy Jump, does a wonderful job of giving each character their own specific personality, as well as their own level of intelligence, or lack thereof, which adds to the action and especially the comedy. I particularly liked how everyone really does try to avoid a shootout as best they can, and even as it progresses, tries repeatedly to walk away, to disarm it. But once the thing starts, it simply can't be undone. Wheatley and his team have filmed, staged, and edited the action with consummate skill, cleanly laying out the geography of the arena and ensuring we are always following exactly where the characters are moving and where they are in relation to each other at all times. The action moves through stages and movements, rising and falling like a musical, avoiding repetition and constantly developing and escalating. It really captures the violent, comic chaos and confusion of a real shootout, while keeping it grounded in strong characters and sharp dialogue. Free Fire is currently streaming on Amazon Prime, and it's a ton of fun. I think one of the best action movies of recent years. That's why Henry recommends Free Fire. Sayonara.